If you want to cook an amazing steak, it comes down to a couple of things: time, temperature, knowledge of how to do it. This is a $40 prime Tomahawk ribeye. This is the kind of steak you do not want to mess up. We need to cook a perfect steak, so I'm gonna have Ash cook it.
I did not agree to this. You just did me so damn dirty.
You're gonna be fine.
No.
You're gonna be just fine. So here's the thing. How much do you love to cook?
Not at all.
How confident do you feel cooking a steak?
None.
Okay.
Especially not $40 worth of steak. Like, are you seriously gonna make me do this today?
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit.
No, this is gonna be great.
Oh,
this is gonna work out perfect. I'm gonna show you guys how you can do the exact same thing. This is a foolproof method of cooking a fantastic steak. She's gonna make an incredible steak for us. You guys watch this.
I'm getting an apron.
This is an incredible probe thermometer set. This is the Gold Dual Sync from Typhur. And I'm gonna give you guys some info on how this works, and there will be a link in the description box for you to get this. It's gonna be on sale when this video comes out because of things like Prime Days, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I'm gonna have a link for you guys to be able to go get this. Now, this is not the cheapest probe on the market, but it is by far the best I have ever used. This is going to make sure that Ash cooks this steak perfectly, and she doesn't have to have any knowledge or any skill beyond a couple of things I'm going to tell her. So the only thing that I have done, yesterday, I salted this ribeye very heavily on both sides because this is like a 3-inch thick tomahawk steak. So I used plenty of salt. I salted it the way you would salt it if you were about to eat it. I put it on this rack and I stuck it in the refrigerator overnight. You guys have seen some clips of me doing that. This has sat and dried on the surface, and that salt has worked its way all the way through. So all I got to do is salt the steak the night before. I have also preheated the oven to 225 degrees. You could do this on a smoker. You can do this a lot of different ways. Are you ready to cook?
No, but you're gonna make me.
You're gonna be great.
Wait, now
You're gonna be great.
you were talking about salting this.
Yep.
So is that called dry brining?
That is called dry brining. See, she listens.
I've watched a lot of Chris Cooking Nashville videos.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is going to make the crust much easier to get, and it's going to make it cook a lot better. It's going to keep it tender, and it has seasoned it all the way through because the sodium, as a result of osmosis, has worked all the way through the meat because it's trying to find homeostasis where the sodium levels are the same all the way through.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we need to make sure we cook this not under and not over. And we're going to do what's called a reverse sear, which means we're going to cook it through carefully, which is going to help render out the extra fat. It's going to make it tender and juicy. Then we're going to put the crust on it afterwards, which is the reverse of how a lot of steaks like in a pan are cooked. This is really helpful because this steak is very thick. It's going to be hard to get this cooked all the way through if you try to put it in a skillet. This is where the Typhur is going to come in because it's going to tell us what actually goes on inside the steak. So the Typhur probes, they not only have a sensor at the tip of the probe to tell you what's in the middle of the steak, but it has sensors all along the probe to tell you how the steak is cooking through at all of the different depths. And it has a sensor that's going to tell you what the ambient temperature of your oven is that's sticking outside of the steak. So we're going to be able to track the whole thing, and Ash is going to be able to use my phone and watch how her steak is cooking so that she gets it perfect.
I like it.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on. That's it.
Oh, there goes.
We're going to let it load up. And you can go ahead and unplug one of the probes. Number 1 is fine. They slide right out of the top.
Well, that was easy. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so you'll see on the probe, and I'll show you guys an overlay clip of this, you'll see there is a little safety notch right here. We need that to be inside the meat. So we need to make sure it goes far enough in that is inside the meat, and then everything else can stick out in the oven. So we're going to measure it against the steak because we want to get as close to the center of the steak as we can.
Okay.
While still keeping that notch in there.
I have to say, I already like this because look at the little stand that it comes on. So you can literally just set it there.
Right there.
So
you just go in. No, you're doing great.
I don't want to be here.
You're doing great. So you're just going to go in the thickest part of the steak. Just measure about how far in it goes so you can see which part you're going to stick it in. Right towards this center spot of the steak here.
Okay. Can I hold the bone? Is that cool?
Yep, absolutely. Grab the steak however you need to.
Do I get a running start and just...
That's right. That's right. It's like a javelin.
Pretty much.
Get in there. Sure you get that little safety notch all the way in.
All right. It's in.
Okay. Perfect. That's it. Your readout is going to update here. So what temperature is the inside of your steak?
35 or 34 now, Fahrenheit.
So we're going to go ahead and drop this now in a 225 degree oven. We don't have to season it because it is already salted. We're going to add the rest of the seasoning later. So we're going to take the rack that it is sitting on so we get airflow. We're actually going to use that.
So glad you already preheated the oven, by the way, because I don't even think I've ever turned our oven on. I would be stumped.
That's it.
It's
Just slide that right in and we'll handle all the seasoning later.
It's in.
How do you like your ribeye steaks cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull it just a little bit early because there is going to be carryover cooking, 5, maybe up to 10 degrees, depending on the size of your steak, the temperature that you're cooking to, etc. So we're going to pull this, if we want to go no higher than a medium rare, about 132 to 135. It's a little on the higher side of medium rare, but it's still below medium. And because you take it a little higher, you get a little better fat rendering because that starts somewhere between 130 and 135 degrees for that heavy fat. So we're going to take it to 125 to 127, and Typhur is going to tell us when it's ready to do that. Now we're going to go into Typhur here. So if you hit one of the arrow buttons,
okay,
you will see it highlights, and then you can hit the center button. It will select that probe, and now we can set it up for a cook. We can just go ahead and set up manual because that's what we're going to be doing, is kind of tracking this manually. So select manual, and then you can set the target temperature where it's going to alert you. So since we're trying to go 125, maybe to 127, let's set it for like 118.
Okay.
So that way it alerts us just a little bit before that last couple of degrees.
The fact that I could figure out how to use this thing without you really coaching me, just like understanding how easy it is to use, that's pretty impressive, Typhur.
So now what it's going to do is it's going to show you your target temperature. It's also showing you your ambient temperature. And then after it's been in the oven and this cook has been running long enough, it will estimate the amount of time left on your cook to let you know when it's done.
Oh, that's cool.
And it also has an app. This is connected via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It's hooked up to my phone. So I'll actually show you guys some screen recordings of what we're looking at on the phone, because the phone app, you can go in and that's where you can put it in professional mode and you can see all of those different points along the sensor to see what temperature you're working with. And if you're not that worried about all the different points and you just need something done, like say a chicken breast at 165, you need to know it's safe, you can keep it on the simple mode and it just shows you the internal temperature, the external temperature, and the estimated cook time. So there's lots of options in how you can view this, and you can track something like a very nice, very thick Tomahawk ribeye. So let's reverse sear a steak and let's see how Ash can do, and then I'll show you guys how we finish it when it comes out of the oven.
Might be interesting. Stay tuned, folks. So since I am never in front of the camera, and I'm going to kill my husband once we're done filming because he totally threw me into this, I thought I would give you guys some fun little behind the scenes look at what it is actually like in Chris Cooking Nashville's kitchen. There's always something bigger. You need a tray. He's got small. He's got bigger than this. I just can't lift it up to show you on camera. You need a knife. He has 400. You need a bigger knife. He has a sword. These to me look like giant tweezers. I don't know, he uses these all the time. I'm not really sure if they're made for the kitchen, but there you go. You also will not find a shortage of cutting boards in this house. This is the typical one that's always behind him on the counter. And then here's a smaller one. This is actually kind of cool. It's called carnivore. Put a steak on it and like the juices go down. This one's actually kind of handy. I like it. This is cutting board 425 that sits off camera in our kitchen just in case he needs another one. This one is actually my favorite cutting board of Chris's. This was a gift from Brian and Cindy DeManch, who we love dearly, and they put his logo on it. And I just think it's like so pretty. It's so sweet. And this is not a cutting board. This is a paddle board. You could be in the ocean and float on this one. These are Chris's oven mitts. These are the only oven mitts that we have in this house. And as you can see, they're also not small. So my favorite thing in this kitchen, and definitely the thing I'm most proud of my husband for, is this right here. His new cookbook, Eat Your Meat, Love Your Life. It's going to be coming out on October 6th. It's 130 carnivore recipes to crank your kitchen up to 11. And I'm just really proud of Chris and all the work that he's put into it. This has definitely been a labor of love for him and I wouldn't have it any other way. So much more than just a cookbook. It's honestly a call to action. There's meal plans, there's encouragement, there's all kinds of stuff. It's so much more than just a cookbook. So make sure you go down below, hit the link, and get your copy pre-ordered of Eat Your Meat, Love Your Life.
Where's your steak at?
In the oven. It's at 116.
How long does it say that should take?
3 minutes.
We're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes because that's going to stabilize that internal temperature so any of that carryover cooking is done. And then we get to finish the steak.
Oh, which means I get to eat it.
Which means we get to eat it.
Got to get your giant oven mitts on. Here we go. Ooh, well, that looks like a tasty treat.
So you can finish the steak a lot of different ways. Before we actually get it searing while it's resting, let's put together a little bit of garlic butter. That'll be a really nice way to finish this. We're gonna sear in bacon grease today. Before we do that, while this is resting, let's make the garlic butter. So there's your butter right there. Go ahead and cut off like a couple of tablespoons worth.
So let's go right about here, maybe?
Yeah, be fine. You can just throw that in the little glass container. You can use freshly minced garlic if you want to mince it up. If you want to just get the stuff in the jar, that's fine. Read the label, make sure they don't put anything weird in there, but just put a little spoon of garlic on top of the butter.
Okay.
Now you can totally melt this and cook this together in a skillet, in a pot, whatever you want, but we're gonna take the easy way out. We're gonna do the microwave. If you don't like using a microwave, fine. So let's throw that in the microwave for probably a minute.
Okay. I know how to use the microwave. Hey, you come here often?
Every day.
Okay.
That's ready to go.
Okay.
So we pulled the steak at 118 degrees internal. What temperature is it internally now that it's been sitting here?
123.
123. So we're trying to go between 130 and 135. So we're going to take this to about 128 to 130. So our pan is starting to get nice and hot, but if we want to double check and we want to see if it's ready or not, get a little water on your fingers and drip a couple of drips of water.
I hear a sizzle.
Okay, so it sizzles. So do you see how it sizzles, but it kind of instantly disappears?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna let it go just a little longer because as it gets a little bit hotter, just for a second, when we drop some water on there, it's actually gonna kind of dance a little bit before it disappears.
Oh, okay. Do a little dance. Okay.
Yes. There, see it dance?
Yeah, I see.
See how it kind of rolls and it doesn't just immediately disappear when you put a large drop of water on there? That's what we're looking for. Now, we're not going to put pepper on the steak yet because when we sear on that hot surface, the pepper can actually turn bitter. So we're going to wait until we have flipped the steak to add pepper, and then we'll flip it again and add pepper to the second side before we pull it off. So it's like a couple of spoonfuls, perfect. We've got some smoke coming off, that's ideal. Go ahead and swirl the pan around.
Am I gonna like burn my hand off like on the TV, as the kids say?
That's right. You can just grab it by the bone and set it down. Press down a little bit, get good contact. Now, what does our internal temperature on our steak say?
It is 124.
Yep, there we go.
Folks, if I can do it, you can do it.
All right, and it should be time to flip. It's been a couple of minutes. Go ahead and flip it over and let's see what we got. Look at that beautiful golden brown. You can also press down on this side, make sure it makes good contact again. While that side begins to crust, you can actually go ahead and grab the pepper grinder. So what does our internal temperature say?
126.
126, so we're climbing slowly. So we're coming up within that one, so it just hit 127 now, so we're coming up close. Let's go ahead and take our garlic butter and start brushing it across now.
More butter, more better. You got bacon, grease, you got butter, garlic. I mean, come on.
So now the only other part of the steak we have to worry about is this big, thick fat cap that goes around the ribeye on this side. So all we need to do is go ahead and flip it up on its side and set it on that fat cap, and let's sear the fat cap a little bit.
Okay.
And our temperature shows
130.
130 internal. And now let's brush this side with garlic butter, and then go ahead and kill the heat and just set it there on the cutting board. And then just go ahead and pour the rest of the garlic butter over it too, because why wouldn't we?
I was hoping you were going to say that. I'm like, don't let this go to waste.
All right, it is time to cut. It has rested. Okay, now you've never cut a tomahawk before.
No.
Stand it up on its end. Okay, slice down and just follow that bone right down through. So you're going to come out down over here.
Okay. Well, it's a lot easier to cut than what I thought.
Go left, stay right against the bone as best you can. That's it, and just cut right through the side now.
All right.
That is a gorgeous piece of beef.
Man, this is like, I feel like you don't even really need a knife.
If you have a really good sharp knife, it's very helpful. But even more important, if you have a really beautiful, tender steak, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's hardly like any pressure I need to put. It's just coming right off. So I'm going to eat this. What are you eating?
It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now all we need to do is taste test it.
Oh, this is my usual job.
Good job.
Thanks.
Let's give it a taste.
All right.
Dude, good job.
Mm.
It just pulls apart.
Mm.
It's an incredible steak.
It is juicy. It is tender. The garlic butter is really nice on there. Nice little crust. Do I make a steak better than you?
Pretty good steak.
I just might. Oh gosh.
Now, was that hard?
No, it really wasn't. Thanks to the Typhur.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I literally could go about my day and get a bunch of stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, hey, it's kind of ready. Come and finish it up. And that is freaking delicious.
Guys, go pick up a Typhur Gold Dual Sync or Quad Sync. Make a steak like this. They're absolutely incredible. No matter how little experience you have or how uncomfortable you feel in the kitchen, you can nail it absolutely perfectly. And in the meantime, go check out some more of my other stuff on the channel. See if there's another recipe that suits your liking.